Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jay Flicks podcast. I'm your host Jay, and today we're going to be talking about one of Disney's most successful sitcoms, Lab Rats. Technically, it's on Disney XD, but revisiting this, I rewatched it more recently, the entire 4 seasons of the show, and I'm going to talk about why it is to me their best sitcom on the entire network. Both between Disney Channel and Disney XD. But before we get started, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button in the right corner of your screen. Also, share your comments, your thoughts about this retrospective video about Lab Rats, and and share it with your friends. So, let's get started. So, this series, of course, like I said, it focuses on it aired on Disney XD in 2012, ran until 2016 for 4 seasons, even got a spinoff that we'll talk about a little bit later. But to start things off, the show begins with Leo, a 14-year-old kid who moves in with his new stepdad that his mom married, who is Donald Davenport, genius billionaire inventor, owner of Davenport Industries, such a spoof of Tony Stark. Disney literally copied Tony Stark for this role. And in this big giant house, he's got a secret lab underneath that Leo finds, and when he gets there, he sees 3 other teenagers, Adam, Bree, Chase, who are bionic superhumans, that Donald tells to Leo and Tasha, his mother, that, these are his kids that he genetically engineered. They're genetically engineered superhumans that have a bionic chip in their necks that give them super abilities. Adam, one of the brightest of the bunch, he's got super strength, heat vision, among other abilities. Bree, her ability is super speed. She's a middle child. And Chase's main ability, of course, being the younger one, his main ability is super intelligence. And together, they are trained to go on missions and save the world from impending threats. But they've been hidden underneath the house in the lab by Donald Davenport. And Leo takes them to school in the episode Commando App, Season 1, Episode 2, where one of Chase's bionic features is that he has an alter ego named Spike that is activated when he is stressed or flustered, and it turns him into this aggressive, monstrous man thing, like just an alternate reality. Basically, a very dumbed down Hulk, Bruce Banner type of situation. So basically what that is. But season 1 basically follows the Lab Rats. The kids just trying to adjust to going to school and everything after being kept in the basement for almost their whole lives up until this point. Now they're trying to meet other kids and fit in. And of course the joke about it is that they are 3 bionic kids. Now they're trying to mesh with normal kids, and hijinks ensue, and lots of things happen in season 1. Nothing really, no main storytelling episodes don't happen until season 1, episode 11, Concert in a Can, where it introduces the appearance of Marcus, a new student at Mission Creek High School. He immediately becomes great friends with Adam and Chase, and they start a band, which Leo wants to join, and he does, but he's suspicious of Marcus. When they practice at the house, Marcus breaks his own guitar and blames it on Leo. Adam and Chase, of course, believe Marcus instead of Leo. Later, when Leo goes to tell them that Marcus broke the guitar, he does it before Leo can say anything, making up a story about a dead grandma or something like that. Anyway, this is where we get introduced to Marcus, like I said, and he immediately has become an antagonist to us and the viewers and to Leo, unbeknownst though to the main Davenport family though. And then in the following episode, Missions, and then the next story arc episode of season 1 would be Mission Space, which is the final episode of the season, where Chase discovers a new ability that he has, telekinesis, and Davenport needs the 3 of them to go to save his space station because of impending because there was like a hole in like the ship or something like that, and he tells him to go into space and save it, before all the crew members can die and things like that. But back down on Earth, the Davenport household, um, Marcus is over. Marcus is over for a sleepover apparently, but because Donald and Leo have to kind of cover as to why Adam, Bree, and Chase had to leave suddenly for the mission. So they try to keep Marcus entertained, and Marcus eventually finds the lab, puts a camera in there, and at the end of the episode it's revealed that he is working with a mysterious figure, and they are now spying on the Davenport family. Jump over to season 2, episode 1, Speed Trap, which takes place right after Mission Space. Marcus invites the lab rats to go to a frozen yogurt grand opening, and Davenport reveals his new self-driving car. This guy is literally a copy of Tony Stark and Elon Musk into one person, and it's just so crazy how Disney is so unoriginal. Anyway, so he introduces his self-driving car. The kids, of course, take it for a joyride to go meet Marcus. Much to the dismay of Leo, who was tasked with watching out for them and keeping them safe. And Marcus programs the car to go to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean with Leo trapped inside to kill him. But fortunately, he is saved by his siblings. And later on in the episode, is revealed to us that Marcus is bionic, and he threatens to tell if Leo was on his way to tell Davenport about this, but Marcus threatened him with his laser vision and told him that if he says anything, he will reveal Adam, Bree, and Chase's secret to the government, and they'll be taken away. Davenport will be locked up, and he would just split their whole family up. So he threatens Leo to keep his mouth shut about everything. And so that's pretty much, that's the main kicker off of season 2, and then you have some other episodes sprinkled in that are kind of filler episodes, just plots that are just episodic. Pretty much, episodes like Spy Fly, which sees Leo taking Davenport's robotic fly that has a camera on it to spy on Bree to help him cheat on the test. And then there's episodes like Mission to Mission, Quarantine, but we get to season 2, episode 14, Bionic Showdown. Skipping over Leo versus Evil. Leo versus Evil is episode of season 2 where Marcus and Leo, of course, have another confrontation. Leo follows Marcus to his house, to a secret lair, and he tries to get photographic evidence about his abilities. He does get it, but eventually is discovered by Marcus and trapped by a giant robot, but he's able to outsmart Marcus and escape. And once he arrives back at the lab to show his evidence to everyone, his phone is put into Davenport's teleporter, which is part of the B plot of the episode, and his evidence is gone. Marcus and the shadowy figure reveal that they will come now to come get the lab rats. And we move into Bionic Showdown, where this plan comes into fruition. Marcus's plan comes into fruition. They capture they capture Donald Davenport, and the kids go to go save him, where they fall right into Douglas's trap, who is revealed to be the mysterious man that Marcus is working for, and the father of Adam, Bree, Chase, and Marcus, making Donald their uncle, as it revealed that Douglas created the kids, but Donald came and grabbed them because Douglas was going to use them to be evil weapons of mass destruction. And he wanted to train the kids to be heroes. So he built the lab, hid them there, and trained them and raised them to be his own kids. Touching story, cool fight scenes in this episode. They could have been better. It's a Disney sitcom, so what do you expect? But overall, it was pretty good. Marcus is killed in this episode, which we think he is. We'll talk about that later. And Douglas escapes. And then we move out to the rest of season 2, where it goes out to again be episodic, just finishes that way until the finale. But no going back, which sees the lab rats' secret get exposed, and to Principal Perry, and they have to decide what they have to do. Ultimately, needing to move away, to hide, to disappear, so they cannot be discovered, so Davenport doesn't get arrested. And in the B plot, Davenport's all of his money gets liquidated and taken by an unknown assailant, an unknown hacker, completely destroying Davenport Industries, and the house gets repossessed. We later find out it's Douglas doing all of this as he survived, of course, and as he survived and got broken out of his containment cell, out of the ice block rather, and by a mysterious masked man, and he blows up the lab with Donald and Leo in it. They escape into the elevator just before the lab explodes, and that's really the end of season 2. But before we get into season 3 and beyond, we'll talk about the characters and the sets. So, characters, like I mentioned, of course, earlier, Leo, you have is the protagonist of the series, the young stepson of Donald and the son of Tasha. Very quirky kid. He's nerdy, he's scrawny, he's weak, all that type of stuff, but he's funny, lovable. I will say as the series went on, Leo, as he got older, his voice got deeper and everything, they tried to still have him like be that little charming piece of the show, and it just didn't work. But he's got a great character. Of course, there's Tasha, his mother, who as the show progressed, we only saw her less, more absences. Then played by Leo played by Tyrell Jackson Williams, and Tasha played by Angel Parker, and Donald Davenport, of course the main, the stepdad, the inventor, billionaire, owner of Davenport Industries, very egocentric. Like I say, he's basically a knockoff of Tony Stark. Just got a bunch of cars and planes, boats, all those type of things, and he, of course, is the adoptive father of Adam, Bree, and Chase. But when it comes down to it, he does save he does want to help protect his family and all those things like that. And he's a great father figure on the show. Adam, Bree, and Chase, right? I mentioned their abilities. Adam being the dumb one, not really having much intelligence, but often. What I noticed is that as the show went on, Adam often picked on Chase because of his height, and it got really annoying to a point because it's like at first the short jokes were kind of funny as they would be kind of randomly placed throughout episodes. But as we got into late season 2, season 3, it just started to become an annoyance, and into season 4 as he was constantly making jokes at Chase's expense, and even though he was not that short, average height for a male, to be honest, but the show made him the butt of the jokes. Bree, of course, your typical teen girl character, starts off like boy crazy and all those things, but she does progress into a more mature character as the show goes on. More characters include Eddie, who is the virtual home smart system, who really hates the Davenport family except for Donald. He pretty much hates everybody. We'll say about Eddie, he is funny early on. His comedic timing and his snarky remarks would be, very well timed. But then as the show went on, it would start to become annoying and things like that. In the recurring characters, you got Principal Perry, of course, Marcus Davenport, Douglas Davenport, who become a main. Well, he would still be a recurring character later on. So Principal Perry being an antagonistic principal of Mission Creek High School, where the Davenports and Leo attend. She does find out their secret at the end of season 2, which kind of jumpstarts us into season 3. But again, before we get there, we're going to talk about the sets. So the thing about the sets is, of course, like most Disney sitcoms, it is filmed on a sound stage. It's not like the Davenport. Our main sets here are the Davenport household, which we see the living room, and the lab, the main sets we see of the house. There really no other sets we see. We don't see any other rooms or anything like that. Upstairs, of course, there's no upstairs. But the house is a really nice set. Now, I will say, like, the exterior shots that we're seeing of the mansion look nothing like the house that we see, inside the interior, which is funny. But so our main sets really again are the Mission Creek High School, which is just the plot is always taking place in either if it's in the school, it's always taking place in the gym, which is used as the gym, a cafeteria, or whatever the plot needs it to be, because they didn't have any, I guess, budget to make any more sets. Um, and now it's just interesting to see. Actually, yeah. So the main sets are the school, uh, the Davenport household, the living room, and then of course the lab. Um, and I will say the lab set is pretty nice. It's a little spacious. It's very well designed. Of course, contains the three capsules that Adam, Bree, and Chase sleep in. Davenport's technology, his inventions, cyber desk, of course, an elevator leading to the upper floors of the house, which did get blown up at the end of season 2. Season 3, of course, sees them rebuild it, and we move out into the other overarching part of season 3. Now that a new villain has been revealed named Victor Crane, who is working with Douglas to capture Adam, Bree, and Chase. Douglas reactivates their Trident app, which he uses to control them, and sink or swim when they do return home after being on the run, after no going back in the season 2 finale. And they attack Leo, Tasha, and Donald at the house. But they're able to get through to them, beating those. His Trident app, and Crane takes matters into his own hands, and Douglas realizes he's in some deep trouble. So yeah, season 3, other than Taken, which 3 minus Bree, which father knows best, which all deal with Crane in some sort of fashion. The other episodes are episodic, kind of silly, just placeholder episodes. But yeah, overall, season 3 was a decent season. Victor Crane was an okay villain. Could have been better. Little Cardboard. Rise of the Secret Soldiers. Rise of the Secret Soldiers is kind of the ending part of this season, where it sees Crane and his bionic army taking over, and the Davenports have to band together to stop him once more. They end up stopping him briefly, and Donald though gets injured in the process, and he decides later to, because of the bionic soldiers not having a leader to follow anymore, decides to train them to be heroes, just like he did with Adam, Bree, and Chase, and decides to build a new bionic academy on an island, which is where the majority of season 4 will take place. Last 3 episodes of season 3 take place here, and then all of season 4 takes place on the bionic island. Adam, Bree, and Chase are mentors. Leo is a student at the academy, and it just follows them training these new groups of heroes. They face some small threats, such as Sebastian, basically Marcus knockoff. Literally repeated Marcus pretty much here, except instead of Leo being the one who knew who he really was, it was Principal Perry. And Sebastian formed the Bionic Rebellion to take out the Davenports because of killing Crane, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, overall, I will say, and season 4, of course, ends with one of Douglas's former colleagues, Giselle Vickers, building her androids because she wants her androids, which is what Marcus was an android, to outlast the bionic humans and take over. So she does rebuild Marcus. He returns in The Vanishing, which is the series finale of Lab Rats, and they eventually beat him and Giselle, but it sees the unfortunate splits of Donald, Leo, Adam, Bree, and Chase, as Leo and Adam go to oversee the new transition of the academy, as the students no longer need to be trained as they're at the highest level, and Chase and Bree are asked to be a part of a new team, as Donald mentions, which is the Lab Rats Elite Force, the spinoff, the very, very unsuccessful spinoff of Lab Rats and Mighty Med. That was horrible. It only lasted 1 season and got canceled. We won't talk too much about it. Maybe I'll do a second video about that. But yeah, that in the gist, that's basically what Lab Rats was. Like I said, it was interesting Lab Rats at the time was a very interesting concept because it combined technology and sci-fi with superhuman abilities and things like that. It made for a very interesting show on the network, and it garnered a lot of viewers. It was very successful on Disney XD. Even being shown on Disney Channel sometimes also. Definitely my favorite sitcom on all of Disney. I think they did a great job. The cast was great. Sets were nice. Overall the storyline was great just to see them mold over 4 seasons. And I thought Lab Rats was very successful. I thought it was a great show. I thought it was just a different take on what we were normally used to. When it at the time, when it came to these type of shows. So I will say this is Disney's best sitcom for sure. And basically, I wanted to make a retrospective video about this. I know I didn't go into detail on every episode and all those things like that, but just overall, just kind of give you a glimpse of what the show is. It is available to stream on Disney Plus right now, currently, with all other former shows. So make sure you guys check it out. And it's really fun. It's a fun, family-oriented type of show. Like I said, it's cool. Technology and things like that. And I would say it was ahead of its time with a lot of the concepts, which I found to be very interesting for a Disney show. So if you guys get a chance, make sure you check it out. Like I said, it's available to stream on Disney Plus right now. But that wraps up for today's episode of J-Flix. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know what you thought about Lab Rats. Have you watched Lab Rats before, or are you going to watch it now after watching my video? Is it one of your favorite sitcoms? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time on J-Flix.